That's right. It's morning. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Worship Confessional number 9. What is today? September 18th. I'm looking good, aren't I? Check out, man, this old messed up hair, scruffy face. Got up at 6 o'clock this morning. I get up at 6 o'clock every morning, pretty much. But we had a men's fraternity meeting this morning at 6:30 at the church, so I decided to come on up for that. It was a great time. So rather than just going home and actually looking like I didn't just roll out of bed, I decided to come on over here to the office and roll out Worship Confessional. So just me and Mr. Chris are here right now. Chris is right there. Check him out. Hey, Chris. Infamous Chris Munkus. ChrisMunkus.com. Photographer extraordinaire. Web design extraordinaire. Graphic guy extraordinaire. Blah, 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 blah. All that cool stuff. Anyway, so it's about 8:45 and people are going to start walking in the office. I'm just enjoying my coffee. Excuse me. And I want to talk about this past Sunday. This past Sunday was a good Sunday. I have to tell you that I keep forgetting I'm on my Mac Pro and there's a camera right there. That's the camera. But I look at myself for some reason. That's dumb. I'm supposed to look at the camera. Let's start, instead of talking about Sunday, let's start out talking about rehearsal. This past Tuesday night, one of the roughest rehearsals I've ever had. I didn't have a drummer, didn't have an acoustic guitar player. I don't like to even practice if my drummer's not going to be there. Long story short, found out like on Monday that the drummer wasn't going to be there. So I found a different drummer who's committed to play at a different ministry the same time that we have rehearsal. Some of you on the Worship Confessionals and blog world over at the worship community know Ben Harrell. He goes by lben.wordpress.com. Ben leads worship for a young adult ministry called Elevate, and he usually uses Chris Morgan as his drummer. And so Ben was a good guy, and he said, yeah, you can have Chris Morgan can play with you, practice with you, if he can just come over and play for Elevate. And then we were going to practice earlier. So I had Chris committed, and then just about 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, we rehearsed at 6:30. Shannon Lewis called, and he's another one you guys may know from Blog World. There are a lot of us confessors and bloggers right here in this church, in this community. But Shannon Lewis called and said, you can't use Chris Morgan because he's my rush hour drummer. So I had no drummer. It's crazy. So we had to practice without a drummer. I did find a drummer, a guy named Jamie Roller, who plays with Shannon. He's an awesome drummer. He did a great job, but he couldn't come Tuesday night. So because of the absence of a drummer and because some of the material was new for the band and for the singers, it was a very rough rehearsal. And part of that was my fault. I'm still getting acclimated into this job here at St. Simon's Community Church. I've just been here in March, September now. So I'm still trying to figure out what songs people know and what songs people don't know. So I had one song, for example, that I thought everybody surely knew. That's Surrender. Forget who originally cut Surrender. I heard it off the Lincoln Brewster. I believe it was a Vineyard song. Lincoln Brewster cut it. All to you. I surrender all to you. And I thought everybody would know that, but the band had never heard it, and half my singers hadn't heard it. So it was crazy. I wasn't expecting that to be new to them. So anyway, we did practice. We're doing a 2-week series called Money Matters, and this was the first week of that. So for the last week, this past Sunday, and then coming up this Sunday, we're opening our service with our walk-in song, doing a cover of the OJ's For the Love of Money. Money, 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 money. Took a little bit of lyrical editing. Lyrics are awesome in that song, and they're very true and pertinent to life today. But even though they're true, I thought the part about women laying down and giving their bodies for money, prostitution, and lay down for $1, I thought that maybe might be a little much to put in our church service. So I cut those lyrics and changed the lyrics around a little bit. Kimbo McKinnon, our electric guitar player, sang this. He led it. He plays a lot of rhythm and blues, plays in a blues band, and gigs a lot. And he gave us a hard time because he says we only let him sing when it's a secular rock song. But, you know, he's just got the style. He can do it way better than I could dream of doing it. So he sang that, and we did it. A lot of smiling faces, people rocking back and forth, enjoying that song. I always think of The Apprentice when I hear it. I'm like, you're fired, you're fired. But I'm sure there were some people that were just, really shocked that we were do that in church. But for the most part, people were smiling, and you saw a lot of people singing along. So that was our walk-in song, For the Love of Money. Then we went into My Savior Lives from New Life Worship, an awesome, incredible driving praise song. Played that on the Highest Praise podcast on the past episode. If you don't know that song, check out that podcast, highestpraise.com/podcast, or on iTunes, just type Highest Praise Worship Podcast in the iTunes Music Store, and you can download that song, My Savior Lives. It's a great, energetic opener. And from there, we went into Chris Tomlin's Your Grace Is Enough. After that, let's see, have my planning center, because I can't even remember what we did, especially this early in the morning and without enough coffee. Okay, after that, we had announcements. And then we did Cindy Morgan's Praise the King. We start this off just piano and vocal. Had a soprano, Eden Rue, that sings with us some, and she did a great job. She sang verse 1 by herself. It's very intimate. She did a great job. And then I came in and sang a tenor harmony on verse 2. It's still just piano and vocal. Verse 3, the entire band came in. And at the end of that, praise him all ye people, praise the King. Bum, bum, and praise the King. We hit it real hard and invited the congregation to stand. Up to this point, it had been special music where they just kind of sat there and listened to us. But they jumped in and sang with us, and we just vamped it, and then we did a big vocal break where it was just drums and vocals, and man, the people were really singing and worshiping God there. I would have liked to have stayed in that moment longer, but so we did that, praised the King, brought the band back in, and worked it back down. Awesome time. We had a guest speaker, David Wilkins, who's a member of our church, and he spoke on finances and on the fact that God really owns it all, the whole issue of ownership and stewardship. And we got a really funny video that we're going to try to link into our media section for St. Simon's Community Church. My tech guys here, I say my tech guys, they're not my tech guys at all. The tech guys here, I share an office with them. We're great friends. They do an incredible job setting up these services with the graphics, the bulletin covers, the shells, the videos, the elements. And we're going to try to get as much of that online to share with you guys as possible. So check out my blog. Excuse me. Early morning. Check out my blog, and I'll announce when that stuff's uploaded. It'll probably be uploaded somewhere on sscommunitychurch.com. But he did a great job, and the video that we did was hilarious, and I hope we can upload it soon. Closed out with a medley of that song Lincoln Brewster does, Surrender, and I Surrender All. Unfortunately, the service went long all 3 times, and so I had to cut a song. I'd a whole lot rather do Surrender than I Surrender All, but in an effort to be very intentional and strategic about reaching all the demographics, and we've got a wide range of people at our church, I opted to do the hymn, I Surrender All, and we didn't really do anything special with it, didn't try to jazz it up. I did alter some chords and put some diminished chords and major 7 chords to try to give it a smoother sound, but I wanted to bring something there at the end to sum up that message about ownership and stewardship. And I thought the subject surrender kept coming to mind, so it was a great opportunity to do that hymn. And we did it in a pretty traditional way, and I think that really means a lot to some of the crowd that likes the traditional style and misses the hymns. And that was it. That was a wrap. We had such a rough rehearsal on Tuesday that the band was eager to come back Thursday. We seldom ever practice twice, but we brought the band back Thursday night, and we practiced for an hour and a half and got everything down. So this coming Sunday, we're going to do For the Love of Money again and a different set of songs. But by and by, it was a good service. The people did worship. We had a great time, and I look forward to next week. I know that my